learners, I am Parikshan and welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, we are going to talk about time and work for CAT 2021. I'm going to show you some very easy ways to solve sums related to time and work. So make sure that you follow me throughout the next 15 minutes. Some amazing shortcuts to make the chapter really easy. Okay, this is about me, your educator on the platform, and happy to say that I have the highest live class rating on this platform. Yes, a lot of new batches are starting on Unacademy. The 21st of April, a quantitative genius batch, 24th, a score booster batch, and on the 28th, a round-the-clock batch for CAT 2021. In case you wish to subscribe to Unacademy Plus and be a part of this exciting journey, remember, there are a lot of Unacademy learners who are there on your screen and who are all India toppers in CAT 2020. In that case, you also can enroll with Unacademy Plus or with Unacademy Iconic. Remember, when you do so, use the code Parikshan Live because that will give you 10% discount on the subscription fee, and B, it's the only code which will give you free mentorship from my side. Mentorship beyond your class hours to clarify all your doubts and make sure that you have an exciting journey ahead with Unacademy. Let's get started. Okay, let's pull up the first question on the board. Right? Okay. Now what we'll do here, time and work, right, is the basics. First, let's discuss that. Let's first discuss the basics and then we will go to the questions. Right? Okay. Now, there is not too much of basics out here, but here there are some implicit assumptions that you need to know. Okay? If I tell you, a man can do a piece of work in 10 days. A man can do a piece of work in 10 days. Then it means that in one day, the man will do 1/10 of the work. Then in one day, the man will do 1/10 of the work. Remember, here you have made an assumption. What is the assumption? The man does equal amount of work every day. And this is a valid assumption for all questions unless otherwise mentioned. Okay? So if a man does a piece of work in 10 days, in one day he will do 1/10 of the work. Similarly, if I tell you that 5 men can do a piece of work in 10 days, 5 men can do a piece of work in 10 days. And I ask you, in how many days can 10 men do the work? Can 10 men do the same work? Now, think logically here. Think logically. What is happening? The number of men is becoming double. The number of men is becoming double. If the number of men is becoming double, and you know what? The work is the same. Number of men is becoming double, right? And the work is the same. Then obviously it would mean that the time required would become half. The time required would become half. So it will become 5 days. I don't think you need a formula for this. The more formula you think of, the more confused you get, right? So think logically. If the number of human beings increases, obviously the time required to do the same work would decrease. So if number of human beings become double, time required would become half. So here also you have made an assumption. What is the assumption? The assumption is every man has equal efficiency, right? So when I say 5 men and you are making it 10 men, it means efficiency of every man is also the same. Otherwise, think about it. What do I mean? If I tell you out of the 10 men, 1 man is a baby. 1 man probably is a kid, a baby. Then obviously in that case it will be more than 5. Why? Because effectively in that case there is only 9 men, right? So efficiency of the man would also depend on, the question will also depend on the efficiency of the man. But unless otherwise mentioned in the question, in all cases, you would take the efficiency to be the same. Now let's understand how to solve sums on time and work. Okay, let's look at the first question. Okay, A and B together can complete a work in 12 days. They work together for 9 days, after which B leaves. If A finishes the remaining work in another another 5 days, then find the number of days that B alone would take to complete the work. Now, there are many ways of solving time and work questions. The easiest way, and I would say please follow this method, you take the total work to be some number. Let total work to be some number. I think that would be the easiest way of solving questions from the chapter. Let total work is some number. What number should you ideally take? You should ideally take a number which is easy to calculate. And that would be the number which should be divisible by, so here you have 12, right? So probably you can take let total work be 12 units, or you can take 120 units, anything. But probably you take a number which is divisible by 12, because in that case, calculations would be easy. But remember, you can take any number, you get the same answer. So I'm taking total work to be 120 units because I want my number to be divisible by 12. If total work is 120 units, you know what? A and B does the work in 12 days. A and B does the work in 12 days. So can I say in one day, A and B must be doing 120 divided by 12. So basically 10 units per day. 10 units per day. Yes? Now see this. They work together for 9 days, after which B leaves. So just follow the instructions. In one day, they do 10 units. So in 9 days, how much of the work they will do? 9 to 10. So basically 90 units. 90 units in 9 days. You're correct? If A finishes the remaining work in another 5 days, now they are using two terms here. One is the remaining work and the next one is 5 days. So first find out how much is the remaining work. How much is the remaining work? So remaining work. Okay. How much is the remaining work? So 120 is the total work. 90 units have been completed. So 120 minus 90 is equal to 30 units. So 30 units is your remaining work. And who completes it? A completes it in 5 days. A completes it in 5 days. So can I say in one day, A would do 30 divided by 5, which is basically 6 units per day. 6 units per day. Right? Now think about it. A plus B does 10 units per day, while A does 6 units per day. A plus B, 10. A is 6. Obviously, that would mean B must be doing the remaining. Which is the remaining? 10 minus 6, which is 4 units per day. 4 units per day. Question is asking you, find the number of days that B alone would take to complete the entire work. Remember, entire work is 120 units. In one day, B does 4 units. So in how much days the work will get over? The work will get over in 30 days. The work will get over in 30 days, and that's your answer for question number 1. I hope you follow this. A pretty easy one if you think it logically and you start your question, okay? You start solving it by assuming some number. The assumption here, I would say, is very important to make this question easy. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to question number 2. Okay, question number 2. Okay, please have a look at question number 2. B is twice as efficient as A. A can do a piece of work in 15 days. A started the work and B joined in after a few days. They completed the work in 11 days. For how many days did A work alone? Okay, now think about it. A is doing the work in 15 days. A is doing the work in 15 days, and B is twice as efficient as A. Twice as efficient, meaning per day B would do 2 times more work. Because B does more work per day, remember he's more efficient than A. Obviously, B would complete the entire work in 7.5 days. Think about it. I do twice the amount of work per day. So obviously, time required would become half, because more the work I do per day, less the time I would take. So A is taking 15 days, and obviously B is twice as efficient, hence you would take 7.5 days. Correct? Now you know how to do it. You always start your answer with an assumption. What is the assumption? Let total work be some number. Let total work equals to something. Whatever number you want, you can assume you will get the same answer. But I think the easiest number to assume will be a number which will make your calculations easy. So what is that number? Probably you can assume any number. But you know what? If you assume a number which is divisible by 15 as well as by 7.5, your calculations will be easy. Okay? So probably I can take 15 only. You can take 15, you can take 45, any number you want, 30, 150. But I think the easiest number to assume here would be 15 units. Let total work is 15 units. Correct? Now remember, A does the work in 15 days. A does the work in 15 days. So 15 units is getting done in 15 days. So can I say A does 1 unit per day? 1 unit per day. What about B? B does 15 units of work in 7.5 days. So can I say B does 2 units? Do you follow? The question is now, A started the work and B joined him after a few days. Entire work is completed in 11 days. Entire work is completed in 11 days. Now think about it. A works from the start to the end, okay? And B joins him after some days. I don't know how many days, but he joins him after some days. Now probably think about it. Why don't you think about it? Because you know what? A has worked for the entire duration. What was the entire duration? 11 days. So A in 11 days, how much of the work he does? In 1 day, he does 1 unit. So in 11 days, he would have done 11 units. He would have done 11 units of work. Remember, in 11 days, the work is getting completed. The work is getting completed. And remember, total work was 15 units. But in 11 days, A is doing only 11 units. So the remaining 4 units, who is doing remaining 4 units? Who must be doing? Obviously, God cannot be doing, right? It's not that God came down to earth and did the work. No, right? So obviously, the other human being must have done the remaining work. So what was the remaining work? What was the remaining work? The remaining work was 15 minus 11. 15 minus 11 is equal to 4 units. Is equal to 4 units. So who did this 4 units of work? Obviously, B did it. How much time did B take? How much time did B take? Remember, B does 2 units per day. And B in total does 4 units. So can I say B must have worked for 2 days? B must have worked for 2 days. Question is, for how many days did A work alone? Entire work gets completed in 11 days. B works for 2 days. That's what we just calculated. So obviously, A must have worked alone for remaining 9 days. How did I get the 9? Total 11 minus the days for which B worked, 2. So 11 minus 2, answer is 11 minus 2, answer is, got it? Easy one, provided you think logically. So the chapter is very easy, provided you think logically. Let's go to the next sum. Let's go to the next sum. The third one. The third one. Okay. Sorry, there is some problem with this. One moment. I will just pull this down. Yes. Yeah, I think we are fine. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3. A and B can complete a work in 24 days. In 24 days. Okay. B and C can complete the work in 40 days, while A and C can do it in 30 days. A and C can do it in 30 days. Find the number of days in which each of them would complete the work. Now again, we know what to do. We assume the total work to be some units. Okay. So let total work is some number. So some number. Okay. So how much number you want to assume? Whatever you want to assume, you can go ahead and do that. But you know what? You want to assume a number which is divisible by 24, which is divisible by 40, and which is divisible by 30. If you do that, the calculations will become very easy. Otherwise, you get fractions. So what is the number which is divisible by 24, 40, and 30? Any number you want, you can take. I think 120. 120 can be that number. 120 is. If you know LCM, I mean we are taking the LCM of 24, 40, and 30. But as I say, you assume any number, you'll get the same answer. Let total work is 120 units. Okay. A and B does the work in 24 days. does the work in 24 days. So can I say in one day, A and B must be doing 120 divided by 24, which is 5 units per day. 5 units. What about B and C? B and C does the same work in 40 days. In 40 days. So can I say in one day, B and C must be doing 3 units, while A and C can do it in 30 days. If A and C can do it in 30 days, so can I say in one day, A plus C must be doing 4 units per day. 4 units. Do you follow? So please add this up. Please add this. Add up the top 3 equations. So if you add the left hand side, it will become 2 times A. Remember, A is there twice. B is there twice. 2B plus 2C is equal to 8. 12 units per day. 12 units per day. Right? So twice is there. 2 times A plus B plus C. So if you divide throughout by 2, can I say A plus B plus C in one day will do 6 units. 6 units. Do you follow? Easy, right? A plus B plus C will do 6 units per day. So now it's all about finding out the values of A, B, and C. All about finding out values of A, B, and C. So probably I'll call this equation 1. I will call this equation 2. I will call this equation 3. And I will call this equation 4. Correct? Now very easy. Now solve for A. Okay, if you do 4 minus 1, what will you get? If you do 4 minus 1, what will you get? You will get C. So 6 minus 5, C is doing 1 unit per day. If you do 4 minus 2, what will you get? 4 minus 2, what will you get? You will get A. A is doing 3 units per day. If you do 4 minus equation 3, 4 minus 3, you will get B. And B is doing 2 units per day. Question is asking, find the number of days in which each of them would complete the work. So what about C? C does 1 unit per day and total work is 120 units. C does 1 unit per day and total work is 120 units. So can I say C must be taking 120 days. So 120 days to do the work. What about A? Total work is 120 units and A does 3 units per day. So can I say A will take 40 days? 40 days. What about B? Total work is 120 units and B does 2 units per day. So B would take 6 days. That's your answer. 40, 60 and 120. Option C. 40, 60 and 120, which is option C. So see, the question is very, very, very easy, I must tell you. But provided you follow this method. What is that method? You start with an assumption. What is that assumption? Let total work be some number. Whatever number you want, you assume. But as I say, the easiest calculations will be the case when you assume a number which is the LCM of all the numbers given in the question. LCM, right? So in that case, calculations will be easy. So please follow this method, and that is when you would master this topic really easily, right? You master this topic really easily. So please make sure you follow this method. The next 4-5 days, we are going to focus on time and work on YouTube. Make sure that you follow me, and I'm going to show you some amazing ways, okay, to solve some really difficult time and work questions. Question number 4. I want you to take it as an assignment. I'm not giving you the answer right away, right? But tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., when we start with this particular question. And I'm going to solve it. But I definitely want you to try. Think it the way I have told you to think it today. Let total work be some number and start solving from there. Okay? Okay, and just one small announcement that we have. Remember, anytime you have a doubt, right? Make use of the Ask a Doubt feature on the Unacademy app. Just download the Unacademy app. Use the code Parikshit Live after downloading. They'll ask you for an invite code. Use the code Parikshit Live. And after that, anytime you have a doubt, just send me your query. Just take a picture of the question and experts from Unacademy is going to help you answer your query. And then the weekly scholarship test. This is absolutely free. Absolutely free. The weekly scholarship test and a lot of other classes are absolutely free on Unacademy, but they are free only for first-time users. When I say first-time user, I mean you need to register with a mobile number which has not been registered on Unacademy before. If you do that, when you log in for the first time, they'll ask you for the code. Use the code Pariksha Live. You'll be able to access the scholarship test and a lot of other classes absolutely free on Unacademy. Yes? Okay. I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the class and I hope you learned something new. If you like the class, hit the like button. And I'm going to see you tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., same time, for another